Daddy born poor, Mama was too. Walking through the snow, plastic bags on their shoes. Papa selling houses, sleeping in a car. 4 babies in the back seat, underneath the stars. Well, hey, hey, just work a little harder. Hey, hey, punching that clock with work and prayer and a little bit of luck. Make so much money, need a 10-ton truck. Ha, 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 ha.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. So glad you could be with me this Monday evening, December 5th, 2022, here at Forex Smart Trade. Our goal is to transform you into a successful currency trader. And we do that by teaching you how to use our proprietary trading indicators, which are highly accurate. And we do that by principally giving you one-on-one instruction, personalized and customized to your speed and talents. And we are so confident in how well our indicators perform and our ability to teach you to use them that we offer a guarantee. And that guarantee is that once you've been trained, we'll let you trade with company money and split what you make. And the purpose of these live trade sessions is, for one, for you to teaching moment to see a trade strategy, and two, so that you can evaluate for yourself how well the tools work and if they're right for you. So with that, let's get going. We need to listen to this guy first, and then we'll jump right in.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
We do a number of live trades as a means of you to be able to evaluate how well the, or not just to evaluate, but actually to help teach you and help you see different strategies, we've got about a dozen of them. At 10 a.m. we do a live trade once you are a member. That tends to be a scalp trade. At 10 p.m. We do another live trade. 10 p.m. in the evening. Eastern time is morning time in Australia, so they're focusing on Australian pairs. There's also another trade, which is a paid session at 8 p.m. But again, one of the keys is when you're trading with us, you've got an accountability partner, somebody who is interested in you performing well because you're trading our money. And with that, we are constantly giving instruction to tighten up your skills and have you trade successfully. So every Wednesday evening, there's a training session in addition to the live trades and these webinars, and every Saturday morning. So with that, let us get into it. I trade off of a checklist, and it helps keep me focused. Every day it is good practice to turn your green chart on and off. Green chart is what we use to trade with. I also turn the MetaTrader 4 on and off just to make sure everything is fresh. at the end of every day, not just with your trading, but with life. It's a good practice to kind of do a little evaluation of things you could have done better and implement those improvements. And specifically with trading, it is good to go back and figure out if you took a trade, why it didn't work. And if you can't figure that out, go to your coach or schedule some time with me. We will take a look and see if we can figure out what you're doing wrong so we can get it corrected. We are technical traders. With that means we are trading strictly based on the price action, and our indicators are very good at kind of figuring out when the market is turning and what direction it's going in. However, news also impacts currency price movement. So we want to know what news events are coming out so that we can trade around them. And to do that, we take a look at forexfactory.com. Forexfactory.com breaks news down into three components. Yellow is low impact, orange, and holy smokes, orange are down here, down on Thursday, are medium impact, and red are high impact. And we want to trade around these red high impact ones. And my rule of thumb is I try to be out of a trade 2 hours before the news event so that I'm not sucked up into the vortex of whatever that news is going to impact. And tonight at 10:30, Australia is releasing some news. So we've got 2 hours until 8:30, which is when I'd want to be out of it. So as we review trades tonight, our prospective trades, we'll keep that in mind. So with that, let's get into it. As I said, the trade I am going to do tonight is something called the 10-point trade signal. I'm going to do it off of a 1 hour chart. I like to be 30 minutes into the chart before I take the trade, and we are past 30 minutes into the 1 hour chart. Off of a 1 hour chart, a trade is worth anywhere from 5 to 35 pips. And you'll see on the Euro USD, support and resistance tends to be 30, 40 pips apart. So it's between those limits. We're going to try to take a trade. And we try to take it within those limits because we want to get in and get out quickly. And my sweet spot tends to be about an 11 pip trade. So when I am looking, that is where I'm trying to get to, because to get in and get out. As I said, 1 to 3 hours. The shorter time I'm in a trade, the less risk there is. And what this strategy is trying to do is basically get all the lines to line up, and we want to get all of them to line up from each of the three sections of the chart. Each section measures something different, and if we get agreement across all three sections, we get the highest probability of a trade doing what we want. So with that, let's get into it. The chart I am trading off of is something called the Light 6 Major. It is one of the standard charts. And basically, I think of it as a composite chart. It's got 6 different currency pairs. On this first chart, they're all U.S. based. I am going to start with the middle section of the chart, which is known as the majors and minors. And the red and green line is the major indicator. The black and gray line is the minor indicator. The horizontal red line is the oversold line. So when these lines are down below the red line, the market's considered oversold. When the market's oversold, that is a good time to buy, especially when the lines are going up. Likewise, when the lines are above this blue line, which is the overbought line, and they're pointing down, the market's overbought, that is a good time to sell. So the first part of the rule is I want the lines to be either overbought or oversold, with all the lines going up, and with there being what is called a double cross, where the green line, if it's going up, is over the red, and the gray line is over the black. But here I've got the major indicator, the red and green line, is going up, while the minor indicator is overbought and going down. So we don't have agreement either way. We don't have agreement either way. Minors are coming down, majors are going up. Majors are a little bit more than halfway into the channel. Usually I will not take a trade if the majors are more than halfway into the channel. I want to catch it down here and ride it up. Can I get 10 pips if I'm overbought and taking a buy? Yes, I can, but that is not part of my trade plan. My trade plan is to catch it on this side of the overbought, oversold line and ride it up, or on this side of the overbought line and ride it down. So let's just go to the next one. If I don't have part one of the trade, I don't need to look at parts 2 or parts 3. Here we are overbought. Majors are still going up. Minors have started to turn, so nothing there. The trade I sent out tonight was a sell. The trade setup that I sent out tonight was a sell on the Euro USD. I don't take that trade off of the 1 hour chart. Actually, it's not a good time to take a trade off of a 1 hour chart on the Euro USD, because it is 1 a.m. in the morning in Europe, and it's after business hours here in the US. When I took this trade, if we go back, which was right around 4:30, you can see we've got a strong down on the day chart. The green line is very steeply sloped down. We still have a down signal, although it's not as steep, so this may not close till morning. But also on the 12-hour, we had a down, and you can see it was pretty steep. Same on the 8-hour. So all three were telling me down. So that's how we took that sell trade on the Euro USD. This time of day, I'm not taking a trade off the 1 hour chart on the Euro USD. We could consider it off of the Australian USD because it's entering morning time in Australia. But again, we've got that news item coming up, and right now we don't even have agreement. Pound USD, overbought. Everybody's kind of still going up. It looks like it's starting to roll. USD Canadian dollar. Majors are coming down in the middle of the channel. Minors have started to turn. It's almost a little bit of a reverse of what we're seeing over here on the Australian US dollar. Dollar Swiss franc looks like majors are in the middle of the channel, and they looks like they've lost their steam and starting to go sideways. Minors are going up, so nothing there. Again, I want agreement. I want everybody in agreement. I want to try to catch it either above the blue line or below the red line. Here, USD yen. We are just, we were overbought. Everybody's going down. The majors are just touching, the green line of the major is just touching the halfway mark. Minors have kind of run through the channel. That is okay. So I've got 3 points here. One, that we're overbought. Two, where everybody's going down. And three, the red line is on top and the black line is on top. I also like that the green line is going from less steep to more steep. You can see the kink here where it's getting steeper, and that steeper is much greater than 45 degrees. So I like that. So when I do have 3 points here, I'm going to jump up to the TNTs and see how many lines I have supporting what I'm seeing. And I want a minimum of 3 of these lines supporting the sell signal I have here. Thin orange is going down. That's supporting the sell. Thick orange line is flat, though, so it is not going down. The blue lines are inversely related. So blue is dotted blue is going up. So when blue goes up, that means sell. So that's a point. I got 1 point on the thin orange, 1 point on the dotted blue. Thick blue is going down. That means buy. I only have 2 of the 4. I want 3 of the 4. 3 or 4 of the 4 from the majors. So we don't have that here. So again, I'm going to skip. I've cloned this chart and just made another chart with non-US pairs. Euro pound. Oversold. Everybody's going up. I've got the double cross. I like this signal. We're just entering the channel. The 2 orange lines are going up. So 2 points there. Dotted blue coming down. So that's a third. 3 out of 4. When I get 3 out of 4 here, I'm going to jump to the pressure. I want the lines either going up or I want the green line on top. The pressure lines are sideways. The lines are converging, getting closer. So eventually this green line is going to cross, but it hasn't crossed yet. I do like that the green line is sloped up. It's a little bit above horizontal, but I don't have a point here. Now, if I did have a point here, I probably wouldn't take the trade because of the time of day. Euro in England, it's 6 hours difference, so that's almost 1 in the morning. And Europe, it's 2 in the morning. So we're going to pass. Australian dollar yen. We're getting that disagreement. Majors are going up. Minors are coming down. And if you see here, this formation on the majors, that's the duckbill. Usually we get the duckbill on one end or the other. Either if it's on the oversold side, it's going down. If it's on the overbought side, it's going up. This usually means there's more up in the movement. I wouldn't necessarily use it to take a buy trade, but say I had a trade open and I was deciding whether to close it or not, I might let it run a little longer because of this, because this is telling me there's more up in the movement. Euro Canadian dollar, we're just reaching overbought, and everybody's going up. Sorry about that. I'm not crazy about when we have these long stretches where the lines have either been overbought or oversold. I tend to shy away from a trade either as a buy or a sell until I get something a little stronger, because as you can see, this has been up here. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours at least. Australian New Zealand dollar oversold. Minors or majors had started to come up. Minors had went into the channel. Minors are starting to turn back, and the majors are starting to go sideways. So nothing there. Pound yen. Overbought. Everybody's going down. I do have the double cross, reds on top and grays on top. Minors seem to be losing steam and going sideways. I am more interested in what the majors are doing. So they're coming down and not quite into the channel yet, but heading that way. And we are going from less steep to more steep. So I like that. 2 orange lines going down, 2 blue lines going up. So all 4 of these are telling me sell. I've got the up pressure, but I have the red line on top. Up pressure with the red line on top. So I've got 3 points here with the majors and minors. I would like it a little better if the slope on the lines of the minors were more sloped down. But this is okay. I got 4 points here, and I have 1 point here. So I've got 8 points here. So when I have 8 points, what I want to do is I want to confirm the setup. And I am going to confirm the setup by taking a look at what the other time frames are doing. So let's go over here. Let me write this down because Great Britain pound, JPY, and we've got a buy. So Great Britain pound, JPY. So even though it's 1 a.m. in England, it is approaching morning time in it's approaching morning time in Japan. So here's the setup we were looking at. What I want to do is I want to see that both the 2 hour and the 4 hour are overbought. And I don't need to have them going down like this. It's okay that they're if they're going up, but I want to see that they're overbought. And the reason I want to see that they're overbought is if this signal on the 1 hour weakens, we can catch it on the 2 or the 4 hour. Now, the only thing I don't like is that for the last 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 hours, we've been overbought. We've been overbought. So you can see that you can take a trade when you're overbought and, make, in this case, 120 pips on this. Oops. Now, so even though my rule is I want to get the confirmation, these have been hanging out overbought a long time, weakens it. And I don't want to, the second setup I gave tonight was on the pound yen, and it was a buy. And that pound yen, I took that trade off of oops, I'm sorry. I wanted to look at that over here. That pound yen. We've got up on the green line here, even though it's approaching overbought. We've got up on the 12 hour. On the 8 hour, when I was looking at it, this was still up. So if I go back in time, up, all across these. So I believe we'll get the 22. So we're going to pass on that. I don't like it enough to. So even though we get the confirmation, in fact, we should probably add this to it now that I'm thinking about it. Confirming the direction of the move. And I want to see that we've gone from want to see that it's gone from oversold to overbought. And what I'm gonna figure out how to say that more poetically afterwards, rather than using our time here. So I'm gonna pass on this. Euro Australian dollar, again, we've got that majors going down, minors oversold going up, so we don't have agreement. Let's go to the next grouping. We just touched overbought and are coming down, and we don't really have the double cross here on the majors, on the yen, on the Canadian dollar yen, so I'm going to pass. Euro New Zealand oversold going down. Pound New Zealand dollar. This is a nice signal. Look, everybody's going down. We got the double cross, and we're overbought. And I like that the lines are clustered. I also like that the steepness on this green line. It is almost 90 degrees. Two orange lines going down, dotted blue going up. So 3 of the 4 here. And I've got the red line. So let's go and take a look at a pound NZD. And it's a sell. And Great Britain pound, NZD. Let's save this. All right, I like this much better because we've gone up, kept going up, and now it's starting to turn. So we're overbought on the 2, and we're overbought on the 4. And again, it wasn't one of those things where it lingered. It came down, and then it turned and went back up. I don't care as much on the pressure on the 2 and the 4. I just want it overbought because I want to get the direction right. So if this is going down, if for some reason this weakens up, we'll catch it on the 2 or the 4 hour. So I like that. So once I see the setup, then the next thing is to figure out what the trade is worth. And to figure out what the trade is worth, we're going to go to Great Britain pound, NZD. And I'm going to drop some support and resistance in. Support and resistance is where the lines tend to naturally stop, the candles. And that helps me determine the limits of how many pips I want to take. So I am going to, by crunching it up, it gives me more data points to work with. So I'm just going to eyeball it. You can see it's kind of stopped up here, stopped over here a little bit, over here, over here, over here. So we're going to draw some lines in to try to catch where these natural stops are. Right in here a little bit, over here, over here, over here, a little bit over here. Now, the question is, let's see, 190, 9923 to 9983 is what I'm looking at here. So that's almost 50, 60, over 60. That's a little bit large. Usually on an hour chart, these are about 30 pips apart. So let's see if we drop one right in here, kind of stopping in here a little bit, stopping in here a little bit. So now I'm going to pull it back out so we can look at it a little better. We don't really have a, last week we had a downtrend, then a little bit of up, but it's been sideways most of today. And then we got this up jump. So we don't, and the reason I want to know the trend is I don't want to trade against it. So if we've got an uptrend, I'm going to take less pips on a sell trade than I am if I've got the trend with me. So here, like in this stretch, if I was going to take a trade, I'd be okay taking a sell trade, and I might take a few more pips than if I were taking a buy trade, because I don't want to take a buy trade here and then have it run down on me. So how many pips do we have? We've missed the candle. So we're on a new candle. So we've got 21 pips down and 19 pips. So we're kind of right in the middle there. All right, let's take a look at, so we've got about 20 pips till we hit that spot. You might even argue that, just drop one more line in here. You might even argue that this is a resistance line right here, right in here. Maybe even push it up a little bit. Yeah, it's touching here, here, here. Now I'm just trying to think. Let's go back and look at the signal, and then I'll make a decision. All right, you can see our 1 hour is kind of already pushed through. 2 hours pushing down. So this was kind of the signal we saw on the 1 hour last hour. Let me take a look. You know what? We're going to take this as a pending sell. Now, once it breaks this line, we'll see if we can get the distance. Let me see what that is. So, well, actually, it's 280 to 261. So that's about 20 pips right there. All right, so let's take a look and see what we got going here. So that's the, what is this? New Zealand, Great Pound New Zealand Dollar. Pound New Zealand Dollar. Ooh, huge spread. Wow. We've got a 7 pip spread. We're going from 77 to 84. 7 pip spread on a 20 pip trade. The spread's too high to take that trade. Spread's too high to take that trade. You know, if the spread were, I don't know, 2 pips, maybe 4 pips. But what's going to happen is that first 7 pips has got to go to cover the. So even if we took a 20 pip trade, it's going to really be closer to 18, because we're going to probably go a couple pips on the inside of that, on the other side of that support line. So we're going to pass. I like that setup. You can kind of keep an eye on it, but I'm not going to take it. I don't want to pay, now it's 8 pips. The trade's going to be worth maybe about 18 pips by the time we take it. and the spread is way too large to go ahead and take it. So the value tonight is, you saw the analysis. That's kind of what I go through in taking a trade. In this case, we came up with a pair that there's a large spread on it right now. So I don't want to take it. But we will reconvene tomorrow morning. And again, some new traders tend to want to overtrade. I find it's better to wait for your setup, to be patient and find that setup, that high probability trade that you're going to be able to get in and get out of, because you only need 2 or 3 of those a day. You make a couple a day, quit, call it a day, and you're onto your next trade. So we will reconvene tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Let's see if we got any questions. No questions tonight. And we will do this again tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here. I am honored that you take some time to trade with me. I love trading, so it's fun to share time with you. Okay, bye-bye. We'll see you tomorrow.